What's up, YouTube? This is Team APS, and we'd like to welcome you to the Summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we will upload a video every single day of this summer.
And in today's video, we decided we would celebrate Memorial Day by talking about the sort of fallen decks of the Arc 5 era. This is our top 10 favorites. We've got 3 each, and then one that we kind of agreed to do at the very end. So yeah, let's hop right in.
One of my favorite decks from Arc 5 were Raid Raptors. I chose Raid Raptors as one of my first Arc 5 decks because I wanted to play a deck that had a bit more competitive edge to it at its time. And as you've all seen, Raid Raptors did have their time in the sun thanks to Ultimate Falcon.
Ultimate Falcon's good.
I mean, I never remember them being competitive, but...
They won 30.
There was a time when they taught some things.
Yeah, they won some things.
So like, what drew you to Raid Raptors, like playstyle wise?
It mostly came from... It reminded me of Black Wings, and I'd always thought about, well, if I had actually had an opportunity, I would have played Black Wings back in the day. And I was like, I want to get involved on this one because wing beasts are cool. So
something that I liked about
barely ring beasts, some machines.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah,
something that I liked about Raid Raptors though is that like they didn't try to make it like better Black Wings. They just made them their own thing.
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't like, oh, these are just, you know, power. Like, you know, kind of like all the Ritual Beasts were to Gladiator Beasts, where they just did a lot of what Glads did kind of better.
Yeah.
I like that like Raid Raptors, they were sort of their own deck, and I think that was really cool.
Yeah, they were made to be right for a toolbox.
I didn't like how they were released.
Yeah, I do agree that I didn't like the like heavy separation of cards like coming out months apart.
Yeah, but you have to understand, it was all about that anime Arc 5 lifestyle. I mean, All Pals got that treatment.
Didn't the main character use?
Yeah, that's one of the main characters used.
What was it, Shun Kurosaki?
Or Shay, as they call him.
No, we don't acknowledge those names.
One of my first favorite decks of the era was actually Yang Zing's. I liked this early on, and I've still been kind of coming back to it recently because I'm building True King Yang Zing's. Diagrams agree to find their way to me. But
it's my bank account.
Yeah, that I like Yang Zing's. I thought that the whole worm archetype was really neat. But more than anything, I just liked that it's like a synchro archetype, even though it was Arc 5 and it was supposed to be kind of pendulum based. It's a synchro archetype. The monsters are really diverse. I like their art, I like the theme. I like that when you make your synchros, they have like buffs, you know, unaffected by stuff or attack boosts. And recently, Yang Zing's are actually super playable just because the True Kings really work well with them. I think that's great.
I thought it was really cool when they came out because we all knew dragons were getting overpowered when worms had to be made to just make dragons, but not OP dragons.
Yeah, that's true. And
so,
Yang Zing started off slow too. So like,
yeah, so when they were able to make Yang Zing's playable and good, it was a really good moment for them.
I feel like they came out at a very dark time of Yu-Gi-Oh!
What time is that?
I mean, they came in Duelist Alliance.
Exactly.
But yeah, you're right. They got overshadowed by like Shaddolls and other stuff.
Those things were floating everywhere back then.
Yeah, and they did the worst job of floating because Burning Abyss did kind of do it.
Nothing didn't float. Everything you hit, it floated.
So what's yours? What's your first one?
UA, you know. Ultra Athletes.
Not this again.
They actually did come in Duelist Alliance too.
Yeah, Ultra Athletes are really cool. I mean, a sports-based archetype, and they were the first ones to do the whole tag-in, tag-out feature. And they did their offense, defense, so you got to be offensive on your turn, but you could switch into like a pitcher and I guess whoever you want. Defense.
Yeah, they did get more support over time too.
They did. It wasn't that meaningful.
What's cool about Ultra Athletes though is technically they'll be good in Link format, huh?
They'll be playable in Link format.
Decent.
We don't know what's going to be really good in Link format. As long as things like Cosmo exist, I can't really see how Ultra Athletes can really...
They can try. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, and then also it's really cheap. And I think that was the one thing that drew the most people to it was just being literally like, commons and rares.
Aren't they getting like an oddly related card? Like,
yeah, there's a
UA artwork,
a field spell coming out. I think it's Code to Duelist or the next set after. That's a field spell. It has nothing to do with UA, but it has a UA artwork as if, hey, we meant to make another UA card, but we never did it, so it's gonna reuse the artwork.
Wouldn't be the first time. What is your next favorite deck?
Well, I want to go into one of my favorites of the Arc 5 era, which was Ritual Beasts. It came a bit later than the decks I played before, but Ritual Beasts were really strong when they came out. They came out around the same time as Necrons and
Yosenju, right? They all came in that same Secret Forces set.
Oh, Yosenju.
It was, and in that time, those 3 decks were actually really prevalent in the game.
They're actually meta relevant.
They fought, they ruled. You didn't really you knew Necrons was gonna be the best overall, but the other 2 could still play and win.
Then Ulti Canahawk got limited.
Yeah, then
Thank
limited Ulti
God.
Canahawk. That was sad.
Which, believe it or not, I think that card does not deserve to be limited right now.
Man, you play turn 1 against that and tell me how you feel about it.
I think everyone has a point here. The problem with Ulti Canahawk was that they were already complicated. Their turns would last forever. They can play almost as well with just 1.
Yeah, and I mean, in school that's recently gotten support. They got Ritual Beast Tamer Winda, or Spiritual Beast Tamer Winda.
Yes, she
and then
access everything.
Bond.
So she can be searched really easy.
Or not Bond. What's the new spell? Return.
Ritual Beast Return, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they both find really easy play in the deck, so that was really great support for them.
My next favorite Arc 5 era deck was actually Necrons. So I didn't really get to play this deck all too much myself, so it's kind of weird that it's on my list. But the one thing I liked about it was it took a mechanic that everybody thought was completely just couldn't be made good.
Useless.
Rituals, it's like, oh, you have to have these spells and you have to have these monsters and you lose so much advantage, it's inconsistent, and it's bad. And they ended up being the best deck in the game.
They broke it.
For a whole, 6 months or whatever. And I thought that was really cool. And the best part about Necrons is
Valkyries.
Yeah, Valkyries actually is a great card.
What? No.
But
Sure.
I did like that they had this weird thing where their effects weren't actually super cohesive with each other. They were just individually strong monsters with a little bit of synergy. And they outed the extra deck perfectly. Because you had Unicore, you had Brionic.
Ooh,
and,
Unicore.
And I liked that, Valkyries could always save you. The deck had lots of draw power, lots of search power. And the variety of effects that it had almost made it feel like that perfect Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
You know what I liked about it? That they banned Shuret.
Well.
Yeah, I love that.
There's actually a guy on YouTube whose name is Shuret, a warrior of the Necrons or whatever. And he that's his account and he comments on videos. And I guarantee you $5 he will comment on this video. And
I'll
say
take
that
that
I don't deserve to be banned or something. No, but yeah, Necrons are really cool. I mean, it's one of those decks that I think it kind of deserves to maybe get something back to 1, maybe Unicore to 2 or Shuret to 1 might be fun to play around with. So, I don't know.
Going into Link format, why
go ahead
not,
and bring
man?
them back, yeah.
Yeah, and it could be good in Link format, it's true. What about you? What's your next one?
Number 2 for me will be Cosmo. They're a TCG exclusive. They really made my list just because of
The Star Wars reference?
Starships are meant to
no.
Okay, sorry.
Why?
It's a good song.
They did the UA mechanic better, so I kind of like that. They did the switching with the ships and the pilots. It's no secret, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so just the fact that we can have lightsabers in Yu-Gi-Oh, that just...
But the real question is, are you a fan of, what's the other thing it's based off of?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Are you a Wizard of Oz fan?
I've seen Wizard of Oz more times.
I'm a fan of the Wiz.
Admit.
Michael Jackson blew it up.
Yeah, honestly and truly, I do like that Arc 5 seemed to bring that era of monsters that were the pilots and the ships.
Yeah,
or, the tamers and the spiritual beasts.
And
I thought that was really cool. Alright, what was your last favoritist?
My last one, I don't even really count as being part of Arc 5 because it only just came out, but Paul decided it was okay. So my last one will be Phantasm Spiral.
Ooh.
The new kind of budget,
Really good budget deck that everybody likes.
It's that new heat to me. Anyone can build this because all the cards are rares or lower.
Yeah.
They
what do you
have
like about it?
A generic play style for only normal monsters and equipped spells mostly. And a field spell, but the field spell isn't really necessary for the deck. The cool thing is that it took what was an old monster called Spiral Dragon, upgraded him, and then made the archetype around him. And so you can easily search him out, using the equipped spells and the field spell for a variety of effects that, when using the battle phase, allow you to swarm the field, and you can really do a lot of work with a 2900 attack and defense beater.
But why do you like it?
I mean, I don't know.
I got this. The reason I like it is because I wanted a dragon-like monster like they did. I mean, Paul had blue eyes, Alec had red eyes. I wanted something.
He's a worm though.
Close enough.
I know.
Lie.
My favorite deck on the last one on my list is actually Subterra's. So it's another kind of recent one, TCG exclusive. Also follows the theme of like, you know, there's the Nemesis, who are like the people fighting the monsters, and there's the Behemoths, which are the monsters themselves. I think that's really neat. It kind of takes a mechanic I didn't think could ever be decent, and it flip effects, you know? I think it's cool that Subterras like are at their scariest when they're face down.
Yeah.
So when you're, you know, dealing with a Subterra deck that's got like 3 or 4 set monsters and then like a hidden city up, it's like you're actually more afraid of them than if they were all face up. I think that's really neat. But
Also, it's kind of funny how they're an archetype that when you look at it, they should be fighting one another, not really working together.
Like
yeah, that's weird.
A conflict of interest there.
And there's like Subterra Fiendus, who is neither a behemoth nor a nemesis.
She's a thing.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
not
she's
sure
the
what
evil thing that like caused the entire war, basically. Is supposed to be. I don't know. That's just something Reddit said. Who knows if that's true?
You know, it's really
It's on Reddit, it's true.
It's really difficult playing against them, but not for the reason that you'd expect. Just that once they're face down, what if you forget which one's which?
Yeah, that's true. What about you? What's your favorite final?
Let's go with pals. Former pals.
They started out bad.
Yeah, they weren't that
Yeah, abysmal. I remember because I was trying to play them then because I was like, I'm gonna get on this pendulum train. We built these former pals. Oh, they do a bunch of attack modding. I'm losing. Why am I always losing? But you know, former pals, they've been around for so long. They've got an exhaustive list of support where you can kind of build that deck in like 100 different ways.
Yeah, they've gotten support literally throughout the entire Arc 5 era too.
And then, you know,
And they might still get more later.
Yeah, they
Sorcerer
probably
changed the game when he came out. He changed the way the whole deck was operating. And then we got Skullcrabat Joker, and the deck is inherently consistent now. It can make some pretty interesting plays.
Yeah, I think my favorite part about it is how like you can really build it however you want, and it's still cheap in the process too, which is cool. So I guess that's each of our 3.
Yes, only one left.
Yeah, there's only one deck left, and it's the deck that we all agreed is probably one of the most, or if not the most iconic deck from the Arc 5 era. We all liked it for different
I'm
reasons.
gonna say that on 3,
Drum roll, please.
2, 1.
Shaddolls
Shaddolls.
are definitely they're the ones.
Yeah, they meant a lot to the game when they came out.
So why do you like them, Alex?
I liked them because Shadows were one of the first main competitive decks that had strong lore behind them. So like when people would play Shadows, they didn't always even know what those cards meant, but there was a story behind them.
I did like it in that phase of the game. Like, all the top decks also were lore related. Infernoids, Cleaforts,
Yeah.
Shaddolls, and even Satellar Knights and Yang Zings, like they were all actually
Lore-based,
Lore related.
decks.
That dual terminal would never end.
Why did
Yeah.
you like them?
Oh, they were cool.
Okay. I mean, I liked them. What I liked about Shaddolls was that, like, you know, it was kind of it reminds me of what Invoked sort of is, where it's like you mix them with other engines, you mix them with other decks.
I guess for me, it was that they were a fusion archetype. I thought that was cool because at the time, we didn't really have any fusion archetypes, especially a competitive fusion archetype.
True.
So
Go back to Ritual Noob.
Shaddolls, what? Never mind. Shaddolls came out and I was like, oh, it's so cool. You can fuse, and they had their own little super poly. They were just
Yeah.
such a cool deck.
Yeah, they were very good, and now Construct's banned. So.
Oh.
There's also a Construct account on YouTube that I'm sure will comment on this video.
$5.
Make sure you put Shaddolls and make sure you put Necrons in the tag. So
Yeah, so they'll find it. Yeah, so those are our 10 favorite decks from the Arc 5 era. What are you guys's? I think my favorite thing about Arc 5 is the decks got really creative in the last few years, and there really is something for everybody if you look hard enough.
that's true.
I
Some
agree.
people are a Despot, some people are Necrons, you know?
Yeah, and anything in between.
Why did we
Exactly.
not mention Death Bots? Oh, wow.
We try not to, Alex.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I tried to include Cyframes. I knew they'd hate me for that. So, yeah, so that concludes the video. Hope you guys liked it. Like we said, let us know in the comments what your favorite decks from the Arc 5 era were and why. And this was part of our Summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're doing a new video
of Yu-Gi-Oh!
every single day. Yeah, subscribe so you don't miss it. That's gonna be it. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you've had a lot of fun, and we'll see you tomorrow.